Welcome to Teach My Digital Learning. Today I'm going to cover the Azure security. So this is the overview what we need to apply the security on three places basically. Operations, when we doing lots of operation in the application, then we need to start apply the security. Other one is partnerships of your applications and various places you need to apply that, and technology, that is also key aspects. So let us see in detail what are the best practices of security which we need to take care. So here, build and manage proactively secure workload. So this is the key thing which we need to take care as part of Azure security. Security provides the principle to protect, detect, and respond to the threats across the Azure environment. Build on secure foundations, proactively stay secure with the native controls, and detect and respond to the threats. Now, build on secure foundation one, where we have one principle, build a comprehensive strategy. A security strategy should consider investment in culture processes and security control processes for all system components. The strategy should also consider the security for the full life cycle system component, including the supply chain and software and hardware services. So there are three places where you need to take care. You need to apply this security foundations. First one is secure hardware. Azure is so how to protect hardwares. So Azure is hosted on the custom built in hardware which integrate the security. Host attestation services ensure the host machines are trustworthy before you are allowed to interact with the customer data. Protect customer data is another part which is very important. Use Azure security, use Azure Active Directory to manage access to Azure resources. We have various Azure resources where you need to um, apply the secure access. Use the Azure Key Vault to store the sensitive data such as certificate, connection string, and token. Azure Security Benchmark provide the recommendations to improve the security of your workload, data, and services. Now, third one is test and monitor. Run simulated penetrations attack to detect the system vulnerability and validate the defenses. Classify, protect, and monitor sensitive data. Access using the access control, encryption, and logging. Second foundation that is built on secure foundation 2 principle is assume zero trust. So there are two sections, two major part, application protection and segmentation. So what we are doing application side, we can apply the DDoS protection on your component, whether it is app services, Azure function or any other. DDoS protect tune to your application traffic patterns. And second one here is web application firewall. It centralizes inbound web application protection from the common exploits and vulnerability. Third one is Azure Firewall is also available. So that is also help us to apply the filtering and various things on network level. So data exfiltration protection using the centralized outbound and inbound network and the application filtering. And then segmentation side, NSG, as you well aware about this. So that is the distributed inbound and outbound network, L3 and L4 traffic. Filtering on the VM and container or subnet. BNet segmentation, yeah, that is consistency segmentation access using the networking application identity, and any other access control. So now coming to the proactively stay secure with the native controls. Yes, what are those? So leverage and built-in control principle where you need to take care native security control and maintain and supported by the services provider, eliminating reducing effort required to integrate external security tooling and update those integration over time. So built-in Azure control are available where you can easily go and configure as much as you can basis on your requirement on various components. Identity and access, app data and security, network security, threat protections and security management, in-depth defenses. Now, next one is second part of this proactively stay secure native control 2. What we are going to cover here to leverage native controls, how Microsoft Defender Cloud, that is excellent. It is also working as an advisory and provide you various options. So let us cover a unified infrastructure security management system that strengthens the security posture of your data center, provides the advanced threats protection across your hybrid workload in the cloud on Azure or on premises. Web application firewall, that is very important, centralized protection and inspections of HTTP requests to the prevent attacks such as SQL injection and cross-site scripting. Here you can protect from the SQL injection and cross-site scripting. Third one is Azure Active Directory. That's the best place. Microsoft Cloud-based identity and access management services securely access the resources. Manage identity eliminate the need to store the credential that cloud will leak. That could be leaked. Use Azure AD Connect for synchronization Azure AD with your existing on-premises directory. So these are the second part where you can leverage native controls. Now coming to the detect and respond to threats. So design for resilience. So there are native security governance as we also cover, but here Microsoft Defender for cloud secure storage, firewall, web firewall, SQL protection, API protection. Native threat detection, that is also multi-cloud and third-party partners. So here are some key point. Process 360 Defender is one, and Microsoft Defender for cloud. So what we are doing here, these are some apps, identities, email docs, endpoints, part of our Office 365 Defender. And then Defender Cloud is SQL Network, IoT apps, server VM or containers. So these are whole Microsoft Defender. All right. Now coming to next, there are some best practices checklist of the security which we need to take care. One is use identity as a primary access control. That is the best thing. Assign permission to use group application at the certain scope through Azure role-based access control. Use built-in control when possible. Restrict control pane access based on the need to know basis and least privileges security principles. Enforce multi-factor verification for the user. Protect all public endpoint with Azure front door, application gateway, Azure firewall, Azure DDoS protection. Prevent direct internet access of virtual machine. So these are the 6 checklist which is covering all the security aspects of your environment, of your project, of your microservice. Is there are some key questions which we need to take care of. Azure Well Architect Review security questions. So here I'm going to cover only three. Have you done threat analysis for your workload? How is security validated and how do you handle incident response when breach happen? Are key secret certificate managed in secure way? So these are three key questions which I'm going to cover part of security. Have you done threat analysis of your workload? So here for your respective project or your respective environment, you need to ensure which one is applicable for you. Threat modeling is an engineering technique which can be used to help identify threats, attacks, vulnerability, countermeasures that could affect application. Threat analysis consists of the definition security requirement, identifying the threats, mitigations, threat, validating threats, mitigation. All of these are needed to ensure proper security of your workload, both in preventions and reactions fronts. So first one is threat modeling process are adopted. Identify threats are ranked based on the organization impact map, mitigating and the communicating to the stakeholders. Timelines and process are established to deploy mitigation. Security fixes for the identified threats. Security requirements are defined for this workload. Threat protection are addressed for the workload. Security posture was evaluated with the standard benchmark, CSI control framework, metric framework, etc. Business critical workload which you adversely affect the operations if they are compromised or become unavailable or identified and the classified or none of them. So basis on your situation, basis on your project, you can check all those things and say which one is more applicable. And third one is, are key secret certificate managed in secure way? Yes, that is very important which we need to take care. And these are some point which will help you to apply. The secret like API keys, certificate and sensitive piece of information that need to be managed in a secure way. That includes the proper storage, encryption and access control. In your configuration, we normally have this key, connection string, key vault and various ID tokens which we need to ensure and store and mask them and then store. So here are some key points. There is a clear guidance or requirement on what type of key, KMK, PMK, platform managed key versus CMK, customer managed key, should be used for this workload. Password and secret are managed outside application artifact using tools like Azure Key Vault. Access model for the key and secrets is identified for the workload. A clear responsibility and role concepts for the managing key and secrets is defined for the workload. Secret key rotations procedures are in place. Expiry dates SSL, TLS certificates are audited and there are renewal process in place or none of them. These are the key very important key point which you need to apply. So that is all about the Azure security or best practices of Azure security which we have covered as part of this session. So thank you very much for watching.